Yo everybody, welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to give a reaction on some comments that I'm getting on the channel. I'm going to try and to speak straight from the heart and just say what's on my mind when I'm reading these comments. And later in this video I will go with you through the Bitcoin chart, the XRP chart, and we are going to look what's better right now chart wise, technical wise. Is it Bitcoin or is it XRP, and how will that look in the coming months next year? So it's going to be technical later, but first of all, guys, I want to bring your attention to some comments, and I just want to give my reaction on that publicly right here on the channel. So guys, let's do it. I want to start with the first comment. The first comment is from Dr. Gurf, and he said, dude, you used to be good at technical and now all this woo-woo. And this comment actually touched me a little bit, because if you look at the history of this channel, yes, I'm a very technical person. In the sense of doing technical analysis. That's really where my expertise is. I've been trading crypto since 2016, 2017, and made so many mistakes and then slowly learned from them, getting better. Right now I'm in a more comfortable position in terms of technical analysis, but I also have to admit that the further I am in this process, the more that I actually realize that other things are important too, like your gut feeling. The gut feeling that you have in your belly is very important. Like, I made many trading decisions based on a gut feeling, and sometimes I have some data sets that back that gut feeling up, so that makes me convinced to actually take a trade. And most of the time the trades with a gut feeling and high conviction are the trades that are performing very good. And I have to say that my complete portfolio maybe doubled or tripled, maybe even more than tripled just in the past couple of weeks because of this XRP trade. And this is where a lot of different things come together basically. So we have the technical aspect, right? We have a technical aspect with the XRP charts that are looking good. I've shared all of these charts in that video, the XRP prophetic dreams, because we are going over the prophetic dreams from Brandon Biggs and Kim Clement and so on. These are very interesting and profound statements that these persons are making. But the technical aspect is as well very important, because the charts are all lining up for a nice setup with a very good risk to reward ratio. So that is where my trading mindset basically comes in. So we have then a combination of technicals, right? We have a gut feeling, and we have just the gut feeling also comes from this crazy situation where the person who predicted the assassination attempt on Donald Trump also talks about Ripple, right? And then you can even think a little bit further in terms of, okay, what will be the narrative? And if you would be very smart, you could already think about the ISO 222 tokens. That's very difficult to always predict these narratives, but it's very lucrative, because when you can predict these narratives, you can actually position yourself before that narrative starts. And another thing that I want to share with this specific person, that this is basically how I work. So I'm very technical, but I'm also able to let that completely go and to listen to my gut feeling. And something important that I actually want to say to you is, like, don't you have the feeling right now that something big is going on? In the world right now, the last couple of years, there are so many strange things happening, so many things that you can maybe put under the tab of coincidence, or you cannot really rationally explain them. Energetically, there's a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things happening in the world. And I think we are going to a world where you really need that gut feeling. You need to develop your inner self. And then the outer world, your success in the outer world will automatically adapt to that, basically. So you can call this woo-woo. But probably if you will have an open mind for the things that we are discussing, or maybe for your own path, you have an open mind, you are able to look at different theories. It might be broadening your knowledge, and it might give you an opportunity to make better decisions, basically. Because personally, for me, like I said, I tripled, maybe even more, my complete portfolio with this one XRP trade. Right, and that Bitcoin right now is blasting through 100,000 US dollars. I've been calling that on the private Telegram channel of us, Will Alerts, when it was at 95,000. Later I can explain you why that is, but that's also how can I explain that good. So you have to think like this. So when Ripple was trading at 70 cents, right? So Ripple's trading at 70 cents. You have already these stories and prophecies. XRP is going to be a big thing. Okay, interesting. Grabs my attention. I'm open for these ideas. Like I don't want to be that guy that's like, no, this is like out of my book, out of my dictionary of possible things. No, it is pretty significant, and I want to be open for it. I want to look for the truth. That I'm not claiming that I have the truth, because how can I I don't know that I don't have the truth. That's just, I cannot claim that I have the truth. Maybe that's a better said. I cannot claim that I have the truth, but the only thing that I can claim is that I'm looking for the truth. And looking for the truth is also important with things that resonate with you. And when I see a video of Brandon Biggs of King Clement talking about XRP prophecies, it's resonating with me. It's pushing me to do more research. And then when I see the charts lining up pretty good, my technical side comes in and confirms what I actually feel and resonate inside with. So I think that was a really, really good trade, and I'm happy that I did it. And we were one of the first ones actually on YouTube calling for this specific move in XRP, because 2 weeks ago I literally made a video where I'm stating right now I'm going all in on XRP. And the reason why I said a couple of days ago, when Bitcoin was trading at 95,000 US dollars, that it will go up, because we can see from the technicals that the momentum is shifting back to the upside. But we go back to the narrative. The narrative has been XRP, 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 XRP. So there will come a moment that in the background there is a shift happening, and then suddenly the attention will go to Bitcoin. But you have to imagine a scenario that is not yet a reality. You have to imagine that already beforehand. Otherwise, you can never position yourself for these narratives. That's why it's always so difficult, because most people, they are trying to rationalize with their mind, and that's why they are listening to the news. So for example, Bitcoin goes up, right? And then suddenly they will say like, yeah, no, it's because Trump became president. Oh, right, and now I'm going to buy Bitcoin because Trump became president. That's one of the worst things that you can do. You should actually already, before that event even is coming close, you should already have thought about that event. That event should not come as a surprise to you. If that event comes as a surprise of you, and based on that event you are making investment decisions, you are often in that bigger retail crowd that make the wrong decisions, and definitely have the more wrong or worse entry points. So it's actually the same when you are surfing. I like to make this analogy. When you are surfing, what you basically do is you look at the ocean, you look at how the waves come, right? Then you position yourself on your board, on the wave, and you just wait until that wave comes. You don't go to the wave when you already see it breaking and try to catch it, because you will most likely fall down, and maybe you can catch it, but you probably are lucky, but you're definitely late, right? A lot of other people might have already catched this. So the analogy is very good, because you just have to position yourself for a future event which most people are not yet seeing. And you are going to make money. It sounds maybe a little bit bad, but you are going to make money because of the people who are reacting emotionally. So once the price goes up, there will come the rationalization. Like people will try to link news to the price. That will spread around. The emotional state of the markets will increase. People will make emotional investments. The price maybe even goes a little bit more up, but then we are often close to a top. And that is the time to take basically profits. So that's my message to you, Dr. Gurv. But thank you for making that comment. And I can really understand that it feels for you like woo woo. I can really understand that. I'm just asking you if you maybe want to be a little bit more open-minded to different ideas and check what kind of influence that has on your life. If it makes your life worse, then I don't have anything to say, right? But if it makes your life better, then be open to look at new evidence. Look at ways that you maybe cannot rationalize, ways that you feel in your heart, hey, I think this is right. Or maybe something is happening here. Try to feel within your heart what is going on. Okay, let's go to the next comment, guys. The next comment is from Ellen Wang 5772, and she says there are some spammers in the comment section. And this is actually what I wanted to share with you. I don't want to share every video, be aware of the scammers, but yes, guys, there are many scammers in the comment. Be very careful for that. When people in the comment section are showing their WhatsApp number, or they are saying like, I met this name and that name, and like this guy or that guy, he helped me make 2 Bitcoin or something. Don't believe that. Please don't believe that. Just be very careful, right? If people are shilling certain tokens in the comment section and you don't know that ticker, you never heard about that token, it's probably a scam, okay? So be very careful. There are many scams in the comments, and I cannot delete all those comments. I did that in the past. It just, in Holland, we would say you are mopping while the kitchen sink is open, because these comments come through the whole day. And these are bots that are doing these comments. So if I delete them in the morning, I gotta delete them 1 hour later, and it's becoming a full-time job to just delete these comments. So I hope you guys can take some responsibility for yourself. Comment, please do comment a lot. I love to read your comments, but be careful when you read other people's comments, okay? Let's go to the next one, guys. J Kelvin 3783, and he says, keep in mind that Trump don't support CBDCs, which is a good thing. CBDCs are a huge red flag from the left, yet these companies, cryptos, are working with them. I don't see this as a good thing at all. And here comes again that I'm not claiming to have the truth. So we have the stories, right? We have the prophecy that XRP is going to facilitate with the wealth transfer. We have also ideas that XRP could be the mark of the beast, right? X mark the spots. These stories, like, I personally, I don't know the truth in this sense. I cannot tell you like, okay, I'm 100% sure it's not the mark of the beast. I'm 100% sure that it is a wealth transfer. I cannot tell you that, because if I would say that to you, I would be lying. So the only thing that I can say is that I'm open to look at all the data and all the stories from all other people, and I'm willing to make my own judgment about that, based on what I feel with my gut feeling. And for now, it's not that clear. The gut feeling of that trade was really good. So to make money is, of course, one of the goals when you are participating in these markets. So that's definitely something that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make money with trading. But yeah, whether it is going to be like facilitating the wealth transfer, I think there's definitely possibility. Is there a possibility that it's actually taking away a lot of control from the people, and maybe can be a sort of mark of the beast with CBDC? Is possible. That's why I said in my previous video as well, if we really want to have a free world, we have to have multiple systems in place. Once a government say there is only one system and you are only allowed to use this one system, that is a big red flag. So once someone is just pushing the agenda of one system, it's probably because they control that system and they want to have total control, right? If you are a free government with not too much interference into society, you would let them trade with gold, let them trade with Ripple, let them trade with Bitcoin, let them barter with ours, whatever the community or society wants. And we trust the society that they do their administration and that they pay tax, right? Because right now as well, you can pay cash to a company, and that company have to pay tax on that. It's also a form of trust, right? That's why companies have these administrations, and why there's sometimes like research by the IRS. So that's basically my reaction on the CBDCs. The thing is, Trump says he doesn't support CBDCs. I feel good when he say that, because of course we all don't really like CBDCs. But how will the future, like in the next 10 years, like how will it look? Like that is something we all have to think of. How will the coming 5 to 10 years, or maybe 3 to 5 years look, right? Are we not going to see like a transition time where we have CBDCs? I think that definitely makes a lot of sense that that central banks are going to make CBDCs. Right, and it depends on which CBDC, which technology they use, or if they have CBDCs that can be expired or that are centralized, that can be blocked, that can freeze wallets. All of these things matter a lot when we are seeing the rollout of the CBDCs. And if the CBDCs are very centralized, they can freeze wallets, and you name it, then of course it is not a good system. It is not a system to empower the people, empower the society, but it's a system to empower the central banks. So that we have to look at these things in general. Like, what kind of conditions are there when these things are being rolled out? Let's go to the next one, guys. This is from Wealth Transfer TC. Thank you for commenting. Brandon Biggs is a scammer. He misled people to the point where people lost their house. He hasn't said anything no one else hasn't said already. He was caught making up multiple stories on the same event. Brandon is a delusional. Yeah, first of all, it's a pretty negative comment. It feels that you looks like you're pretty angry at Brandon. But what I want to say about this is that he is not responsible. He is not responsible of other people. Brandon, we don't know exactly what goes on in Brandon's inner world, right? But he clearly has a YouTube channel. He clearly shares what he feels, what he thinks. And that's more of a blessing that someone does that rather than a curse. And it's your decision, your choice, what you basically are going to do with it. Like, are you going to listen to him? Then that is also your responsibility. You cannot like listen to someone and then put the responsibility on that person who says something. And there's always a little bit like childish analogy. But when you say, like, when someone tells you, hey, you should jump off that bridge, would you jump off that bridge? No, right? Like, of course not. And if you would jump off that bridge and would break your leg, would you then blame the person who told you to jump off the bridge? Or would you blame yourself, like, I was stupid enough to listen to that person? I'm not saying that you should not listen to Brandon. I'm saying that you should take the full responsibility of your own actions. And if you want to look at Brandon Biggs, look at it, feel, how does it feel? Is it resonating with you? Is it not resonating with you? But there is no blame to put on a Brandon, because Brandon is also being Brandon, right? He's just being himself. So it's actually more of a blessing that he takes the time and effort to wake up in the morning, to pray with all of you guys, and to share his vision, to share the information that he has, right? Of course, if he would intentionally share false information to mislead people, of course, I wouldn't. That wouldn't be good. I don't have the feeling that he's doing that. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to share with this. And most importantly, take your own responsibility, right? Really take your own responsibility. That is the only way that you can win. And it's okay to sometimes listen to someone else, but then tell yourself, okay, I'm taking full responsibility of myself. I'm trusting this person because of his judgment. I'm going to listen to him, but the responsibility is still on myself. That's very important. Okay, guys, that were the comments, pretty long, but we are going to dive into the charts right now. Let's go. So, guys, we're back to the technical. No woo-woo shit. No, joking, guys. But yeah, now we're going to look at the technical, and this video is going to take a little bit longer than the other videos because I want to do some explanation. We are going to go over the Bitcoin chart right here. We are going to go over the Bitcoin dominance chart. And I basically want to share with you the XRP against Bitcoin chart. Maybe we can still have a look, if we have some time left, to the XRP dominance. And I haven't looked at this chart. It just pops in my mind right now. So we might just have a need to take a look at that. Okay, so what's happening with Bitcoin? Breakout of the all-time high. So let's just go a little bit back, right? Okay. We have this all-time high right here, this neckline. We broke that neckline to the upside. We had a nice push from 73,000 all the way up to 103 roughly. And now it starts to look like we could be seeing a correction. So how will that look? Well, we see a high, and we see already like maybe getting a lower high right here, which will be a bearish divergence. Not in a bull market, you don't have to go only on bearish divergences, because sometimes in a bull market we have bearish divergences, price just continues to go up. This just shows a little bit that the momentum is slowing a little bit down, but it still doesn't have to mean anything. So I want to go with you to the daily time frame, because this is actually starting to get interesting. If you look at the green candles right here, the green candles, and this is from Bob Lucas, the one who kind of the inventor of the Bitcoin 4-year cycle. I've learned a lot from him, to be honest. Gotta give him some credits for that. But he's talking about 60-day cycles. There are cycles in the Bitcoin price occurring every 60 days. So when you have this low, for example, this low till this low, it's roughly 60 days. This low till this low is roughly 60 days. Till this low is roughly 60 days. Till this low is roughly 60 days. And this low is roughly 60 days. The next 60-day cycle low will come roughly around the 5th of January. Right? I put the arrow right here. It can be also lower. It can be also higher. Another couple of things that are interesting is that normally the start of a 60-day cycle is very strong. And we have also evidence for that, because the start here, boom, very strong. The start here, boom, very strong. The start here, boom, very strong. Boom, very strong start. A very strong start. Now, the question is, when do we top, right? Normally, around the half of the cycle, when the price is not too bullish, around the half of the cycle, the 30 days, so 30 days completed from that 60 days, momentum starts to fade a little bit, and then we start to roll over. And I can show you some examples, especially in this consolidation period. So we had this bounce, we top, rolling over, down, bounce, we top roughly at 30 days, rolling over, down, bounce, we top earlier. This is an early top, we're rolling over, bam. But this is in consolidation. So when you look here, the latest one, when we broke out. So to make it clear, if you would divide these cycles through the half, right here through the half, then you can see where the top is on the left or on the right side of the half. So here we have the top on the, let's call it right here, the left side, right? Here we have the top exactly in the middle. And here we have the top on the left side as well. The ones on the left side is called a left translated cycle. that is generally a little bit more bearish than a right translated cycle. This is, for example, a right translated cycle because this is the half and the top occurs in the later half of the 60-day cycle. That's very bullish. So you can also see that the lows here are lower lows. So this is bearish consolidation, right? And these tops often occur halfway through the cycle or on the left side of the halfway through the cycle. And right now we are actually almost exactly halfway through the cycle. So that's we have to actually, so now it becomes a little bit more slippery. However, sometimes, as you can see at this 60-day cycle from here to here, the last half of the cycle was still a strong push before we got a correction. We had a breakout. So that is what we are seeing. That is basically what we are seeing right now. To open fresh new longs right here is definitely, for me, not recommended. Although this can definitely push higher, the risk to reward ratio, that's where it's about with trading, because we don't know for sure what's going to happen. We just know the likelihood of certain scenarios, and right now the likelihood is increasing that for the coming 30 days we are going to see the momentum fade a little bit. But it can also look like this, where we just do something like this, where we just still go to 120,000 US dollars and then come down and maybe like have the next 60-day cycle low at 100k US dollars. This is definitely possible. But generally speaking, the later phase of that 60-day cycle, the momentum can become lower. So early in the 60-day cycle, you can be more confident that there will be a big push to the upside like we are generally seeing with Bitcoin. But what I do like is that Bitcoin is now in price discovery again. We broke the 100,000 US dollar mark. This will bring a lot of media attention. This will create a lot of FOMO with a lot of people. It's a huge milestone, right? 100,000 US dollars. So that is also something to say. But like I said, to open new longs right here is not recommended. To open that long on 95,000 US dollars was a very good long, and we used that with a Will Portal Pro Charts. This is a system that I've built where we actually take exchange data from like maybe even 10 to 20 exchanges. We are calculating on these data certain equations, and then we can see certain data sets. And the data was telling me at 95k Bitcoin is going to see a push to the upside. And I actually think that we can push higher. We just have to be a little bit careful right here that we are entering the last part of the 60-day cycle. So if we push higher, it's probably going to be maybe around 15 days until we then maybe come down a little bit again. So the further we are in this later part of the cycle, the more chances, the higher the likelihood of a correction. And how far that correction is going to go, I don't know. Can be a big liquidation event, can be like this, a smaller correction, although this was still a couple of thousand. A correction, of course. We are in a bull market, I still believe that. And in a bull market, you generally don't want to short. You don't want to short Bitcoin. You don't want to expect the price to plunge also, because if we look at, for example, 2017 right here, look at this. So if you short here, goes up, short here, goes up, short here. Yeah, okay, we have some shake up. It just goes up. Then we have maybe a correction, and during the summer goes up, small correction, goes up, small correction, especially later in the bull cycle. Look at this. Almost all the days are green. So you don't want to be that guy. That's what I learned the hard way. You don't want to be that guy that looking too early in the bull market to open these big short positions. That's what I feel. That's my my couple of cents. Then we go to the next chart. This is the Bitcoin dominance, and let's go to the daily chart. What we are seeing right here is that the Bitcoin dominance had this rising wedge formation. This thing broke down. We also, again, we called this over on the channel. I actually say this is the top in the Bitcoin dominance. I still believe that. We broke down, we broke the support. Right now we're bouncing from the first Fibonacci level right here. So we see, so when Bitcoin breaking 100,000 US dollars, we are seeing a little bit liquidity going back to Bitcoin. However, I think it will do something like this. So I think Bitcoin will bounce now, and I think that XRP will lose a little bit value against Bitcoin. This is just seasonality. Waves are coming in and out, but eventually this will turn. So how high this bounce go from the Bitcoin dominance? To be honest, I don't know. My momentum indicator will tell that, especially I think on the 4-hour time frame. We're just rolling over, we're just coming up right here. Once this is like at higher levels and coming down, I'm going to look more, okay, liquidity is going back to altcoins. Then we go to XRP. So what we are seeing with XRP is, if I just get rid of the drawings and we just look at this spike in the XRP price, right? What do you see on this chart on the horizontal axis? We see resistance, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. It should sometimes shoot a bit higher, okay, but this is generally a point of resistance. I can draw something for you guys there so it makes maybe a little bit more sense. So we can do something like this. You can see that this is a resistance level. So after such a burst in the price, in the value of XRP against Bitcoin, it's not likely to in one go, although it's possible, in one go just go to the resistance, right? It makes more sense to get some rejection right here and later break this level. I think something like this can happen. Maybe the correction even goes deeper. It's Ripple. Look at this. Sometimes the price goes crazy. Look at the like here it actually did. Bam, pushed up, down retest, bam, push up. That was in 2017. Maybe we're going to see something like this again. I'm just saying from a technical aspect, it's more likely for this to get some little bit of a battle at that resistance, right? Maybe XRP get a little bit more liquidity, and then once XRP rolling over, bam, XRP can go. Brandon did told us that he thought XRP will shoot up pretty quickly to $5 US. So we haven't seen that yet. I hope to see that soon, of course. That would be very interesting. Quickly, I wanted to go with you over the XRP dominance. Let's just have a look what we are seeing right there. So I'm already seeing some signs right here. This is the first time I'm looking at this chart. If we have an uptrend on the momentum indicator, we broke that uptrend. So that's not yet broken right here. So this still looks intact. But as you can see, the momentum indicator already broke down. Generally, that is a sign, an early sign here. An early sign that the price will do the same, will break down. The market dominance of XRP will probably get a correction at these levels. Like I said, I'm not claiming that I know for sure this is all going to happen. I'm just sharing with you the knowledge that I have and what I think is going to happen based on the data that I'm seeing, and also maybe a little bit based on my gut feeling that I think that some attention will go to Bitcoin in the coming days, maybe coming weeks even, because of being in price discovery again. And I think a lot of things line up because Bitcoin's back in price discovery, Bitcoin dominance can bounce, and we are seeing XRP dominance already breaking down. So guys, this was a very long video. If you're still watching right now, it's crazy. I give a thumbs up for yourself. It was a lot of information. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have not done so, you join the Discord. Very interesting, guys. Discord is so much fun. There are already 100 people in here talking with each other, talking about video. Like, I actually love it. I just love to see people connecting with each other. And it's working. It's really, really working. So there's a good vibe going on. People have respect for each other. If you want to share your thoughts, please do so. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to see that. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. If you haven't, drop a thumbs up. Very much appreciated. Share your comments. I might share them in coming videos. Wish you all a beautiful day today, guys. And hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye-bye.